So do you need to, so how do you know which approach to use, the dividend growth model approach or the SML or CAPM approach? It's you're either given in the problem like explicitly use so and so approach, or you kind of looked at what's given to see, okay, do I have everything I need for approach number one? Yes or no? Do I have everything I need for approach number two? Yes or no? And typically you realize right away that, okay, I can only use approach number one or only approach number two. But is it possible that you're looking at a problem that you need to solve in which you're given the information that allows you to use both approaches? So, yeah, it's possible. Let's look at an example like that. So let's do a numerical example that calculates cost of equity using both approaches, the dividend growth model approach and the SML or CAPM approach. So let's say we have a company called Alpha. Alpha stock has systematic risk of 1.2. That's the beta. The market risk premium is 8%. Market risk premium is the difference between the expected return on the market portfolio and the risk-free rate. Then we know the T-bill rate, 6%. That's R subscript F. These three numbers is exactly what we need in order to use what we called approach number two, the CAPM approach. Now let's look at what else is given. The last dividend that Alpha paid was $2 per share, so that's D0, subscript 0. Dividend is expected to grow at 8% indefinitely, that's the growth rate, lowercase g. Alpha stock currently sells at $30, that's today's price, P subscript 0. And the last three, the dividend, the growth rate in the dividends, and today's price, is what we need to use approach that we called approach number one, the dividend growth model approach. So we can use either approach. Let's calculate the cost of equity. What are we going to do? If we use the dividend growth model approach, then we would need to take the most recently paid dividend, $2, multiply by 1 plus 0.08, which is the growth rate in dividends. Then we divide the result by $30, today's price. And then we add 0.08, the growth rate in dividends again. So we followed the formula which says D1 over P0, and then we add G. This gives us 0.152, so 15.2% per year, the cost of equity to the firm. We can also use the security market line approach, right, from the first three numbers that are given to us in this problem. That's the CAPM equation. The risk-free rate is 6%, in decimals 0.06, plus the beta is 1.2. The beta is then multiplied by 8%, the market risk premium, which is given, and we get 0.156 in decimals, which is the cost of equity of 15.6% to the firm. Well, the two numbers, 0.152 and 0.156, are pretty close. So what we can do is we can, if you're not sure which approach we should use, then we can just take the average of the two results. And that will become our final answer for the cost of equity. So 0.152 plus 0.156, the sum is divided by 2 and gives us 0.154, which we interpret as always the following way. It costs the company 15.4% per year to use the money raised from common stock issues. Maybe you always trust the SML approach better because it counts for expected future risk, the beta. So maybe you just don't even do the dividend growth model approach. So your final answer would be 0.156. So what I'm saying is that in a problem like this, you should make probably somewhat a subjective decision on which approach to use, and if you're using both, then how much you would like to rely on this or that approach. Here we kind of did it the simple way. We are basically saying that I like both approaches, I really would like to rely on both approaches, so I'm just taking a simple average of the numbers I get.